My name is Melissa and I work on Tax 990. I'm very excited to discuss understanding nonprofits, grants, and the process to get started with you today. But before we get started, we have a few reminders for those who are new to our webinars. Typically, we discuss the 990 series form and how to complete using Tax 990. But today we are going to switch gears and discuss the nonprofit sector. We hope this information will help to provide you with all the information that is vital to your nonprofit. This presentation will be recorded and available at tax990.com after the webinar. If you have questions during the presentation, we kindly ask for you to please add them to the chat and we will address them at the end of the webinar if time permits. If we do not get to your question, we will send you an email directly. And as always, you can reach out to our dedicated support team. Please keep in mind we are not tax advisors or the IRS. We will not be given specific tax advice and we are not able to advise on your specific organization status. For specific information on your organization, please send an email to our support team at support@tax990.com. All right, let's begin. Let's understand what a grant is and how it works. As with any journey you will embark on, understanding all the components will greatly enhance your path to success. Grants can open up so many opportunities for funding and support for nonprofits. They can help bring projects and initiatives to life. As many of you are already aware, a lot of nonprofits survive solely on the contributions of donors. So when a grant opportunity arises, the potential to meet the nonprofit's goal or mission can be less challenging. This is why grant funding is so important to a nonprofit, especially just starting out, whose funding is just not where it should be. Here's a tip to keep in mind. Once you've been awarded a grant, other funders are likely to take notice of your success, and this could make it easier for your organization to be awarded grants in the future. Our agenda today will include what is a grant, the 3 phases of the grant management process, the full nonprofit grant life cycle, and what is the right grant for my nonprofit. With all of this valuable information, you should be ready to run down the path of success with grant funding. Okay, let's take a minute to establish what is a grant. A grant is a financial award that is not expected to be repaid. No, that does not mean free money. While grants do not have to be repaid, there are conditions of receiving the grant which must be met. Grants can be used for a wide range of purposes, including research, education, community development, and more. Grants are typically awarded based on criteria set by the individual or entity which provides the grant. And this can include financial need, merit, project goals, and the alignment with the organization's mission. Grants provide valuable resources for organizations to carry out projects or reach a goal they otherwise may not be able to accomplish. In short, receiving a grant is your ticket to transforming your great ideas into impactful actions. Now let's talk about the 3 phases of grant management: the pre-award, award, and post-award. The initial phase or pre-award stage, funders will establish a funding program, advertise grant opportunities, and create application guidelines. While grant seekers in this stage will search for funding, develop proposals, and work on applications for the specific grant they wish to obtain. The next phase is the award. Receiving the award is the exciting part where your hard work researching and applying pays off. In this stage, the funding agency will review applications and notify applicants of their decision. The successful applicant will receive a notice of award, which makes the grant legally binding. The agency will then work with the recipient to review the funding agreement and disperse funds. And finally, the last phase is the post-award. This stage is where the recipient will fulfill the obligations set in the agreement of receiving the grant and report all necessary progress. The first step is to identify your grant opportunities. You will need to determine your funding needs and then find a grant that aligns with those needs. The second is cultivating relationships with your funders. After you identify a grant to pursue, seek connections between your team's mission and the funder's goal. Contact the person or organization to express your interest in applying for the grant. This will keep your organization on their radar, which is always beneficial. Always remember to follow up and follow through. And the third step is applying for the grant. Research the grant guidelines and requirements. Then draft a thorough proposal. Customize your writing to appeal specifically to the funder, presenting a compelling idea of how you'll use the funds to advance your mission. Remember, you're not the only applicant. Be creative. This is another reason choosing the right grant to apply for is so important. The fourth step is receiving the grant. This is a significant milestone in the grant process, marking your transition from planning to realization. By adhering to the terms of the grant agreement, maintaining clear communication, and diligently managing the project funds, grantees can ensure successful project execution and pave the way for future funding opportunities. The fifth step is managing the grant. This is the time you will put your awarded funds to use. Proper management of the grant not only meets the grantor's requirements, but it maximizes the project's impact, benefiting the intended community or cause. And finally, the reporting on your progress. Depending on the grant requirements, you may need to provide periodic updates on your progress toward the proposal goals and project-related finances. In addition, any internal reporting your team conducts. When the program or funding period concludes, complete the grant with a final report. To summarize, finding the right grant ensures that your organization will receive the necessary financial resources to achieve their specific goals. This can enhance credibility and support long-term sustainability and growth. It can allow you to effectively address community needs and achieve meaningful impact. Finding the right grant to apply requires dedicated research and asking the right questions. Some common questions to ask in the research process are, is the mission of the grant compatible with yours? Do you help the people or purpose the funder cares about? Do you have a 501c3 status? And when will the funding decisions be made? Once you have determined the specific grant you wish to apply for, you can proceed on your funding journey. There are a lot of resources out there to help you find a grant. Here are a few websites you can use to start searching for the right grant to fit your needs. We will provide a link to these sites in the follow-up email we're going to send you. If you have other sites that have proven results, please send them to us so we may add them to our information database for our clients. We at Tax 990 hope today's webinar has provided valuable insight into the world of grants and their significance for nonprofit organizations. We've explored how grants can serve as vital sources of funding, supporting a wide range of projects and initiatives that drive positive change in communities. Understanding the grant-seeking process, from identifying suitable opportunities to crafting compelling proposals that will empower nonprofits to effectively pursue funding opportunities that align with their mission and strategic goals. Most charitable nonprofits that are recognized by the IRS as tax exempt have an obligation to file IRS Form 990 annually. This includes disclosing all gifts, grants, and contributions made to the nonprofit. Tax 990 is an IRS authorized e-file provider with over a decade of experience in filing the 990 series return. With Tax 990, we offer a self-guided platform for the 990 series return with leading features and technology. Filing a return with Tax 990 can be done in just a few simple steps. Once you have created your account and added your organization, you will then choose the form you wish to file. Using one of the two available filing formats, you will add all necessary information to your return. Once the return is completed, Tax 990 will confirm the form and information provided has met all IRS form instruction using our internal audit. When you have cleared all of your audit errors, you will have the option to share the return as necessary. And the final step is transmitting the form to the IRS. Tax 990 is designed to take the guesswork out of filing the 990 series return. Whether you are a tax professional with years of experience or a first-time filer, Tax 990 aims to make this a fast, easy process. We have put a lot of work into providing you with the best resources. You can review our knowledge base to get quick answers to common questions related to the filing process, form information, or filing requirement. You can also check out our YouTube and blog channels for helpful step-by-step guides and instructions. We will finish up today with a quick Q&A. We will also send a follow-up email if we were unable to review your question live. I will give you all a minute to post your questions. Okay, let's get started with a question from Mark. He asked, is my nonprofit required to file the 990 just because I accepted a grant? Well, Mark, generally speaking, most nonprofits are required to file Form 990 regardless of a grant. However, the specific form, whether it's the 990, 990EZ, or 990N, and the required details may vary based on the organization's total annual revenue and assets. For more information on specific forms and requirements, I would refer you to our knowledge base section on our website. This question is from Cassie. Cassie would like to know, can you tell me exactly where to put the grant funds we received on the 990 long form? Cassie, we want to give you the best possible answer to your question. We cannot give you specific tax advice, but on the Form 990, information about grants received can be reported on Part 8, Statement of Revenue, Line 1E, which is designated for grants. You can contact our support team for specific questions as every organization is different. Let's move to a question from Alex. Do I have to have the 501c3 to get a grant? Okay, Alex, most grants require that you show proof of your nonprofit status. To obtain the 501c3 status, you will need to file Form 1023 or 1023EZ with the IRS. Once the IRS has granted your status, you will receive a determination letter with all relevant information. Okay, so we have time for one more question before we move on. And as I mentioned, if we do not get to your question, we will reach out to you directly after the webinar. This question is from Lindsay. Can the 990 form show me if my nonprofit is doing well financially? So that is a complicated question. It is certainly a great reference tool as you can see your prior year's financials for these areas to see your growth or decline. On paper, the 990 line 12 for total revenue, line 18 for total expenses, and line 19 for revenue less expenses can paint a picture of your nonprofit financial situation. Each nonprofit goal is different, so just looking at the financials may not give the whole picture. Thank you all for the thought-provoking questions, and I hope you will join us next time as we dive further into the nonprofit world. If you are filing a 990 series form or want to learn more about your filing requirements, visit us at tax990.com. If you are a current Tax 990 client and would like to submit a testimonial to our website, please reach out to us via email at support@tax990.com. If you have other topics you would like to learn more about, send us your suggestions in an email to support@tax990.com. If you have questions along the way, we offer customer support that is dedicated, personalized, and available. We focus on your account and the questions you specifically have. You won't need to be on hold for several hours or be put on a call list. When you need assistance with your return, you can give us a call or reach out via chat or email. We are always here to help. You can get started on your annual 990 series return now at tax990.com. If you are not already a client, what are you waiting for? Go to tax990.com, sign up for a free account so we may show you what being a valued customer means. So that is all the time we have for today. Thank you all for attending our webinar and keep an eye out for future webinars.